What you're seeing now is not a complete episode of Dragon Ball Shinken, just a small update to the story so fans don't have to wait too long. Stay tuned for this preview now, and soon you'll see the complete episode made with all of our dedication. Previously on Dragon Ball Shinken, Goku and Vegeta's battle against the Gods of Destruction continues. With great difficulty, Goku and Vegeta have already taken down 4 of the 12 Hakaishins. However, there are still 8 more to be defeated, and as time passes, things are getting worse for the two Saiyans. Caught off guard by Liquiir, Goku is severely injured by the key blade of the 8th universe's God of Destruction, while Vegeta is also surprised and captured by Moscow from the 3rd universe. How will they deal with this critical situation? Find out now. Episode 21, Goku's mortal wound and Vegeta's frustration. Wrapped around Goku's forearm is Liquiir's energy loop, and thrust through his abdomen and back is the energy blade of the Fox deity. Next to them is Arak, who, thanks to Liquiir, was saved from a fatal attack by Goku. Not far away are Belmod and Rumshi approaching at high speed. A small jet of blood involuntarily escapes Goku's mouth, indicating the severity of his injury. Darn, they got me, he thinks, very frustrated and in pain. But the God's attack is not over yet. While Liquiir holds Goku captive with the loop around his arm and the blade through his body, Arak moves to his back, preparing an attack that would surely be fatal. It's not over yet, Goku shouts. While shouting this, the Saiyan abruptly releases his power, the pressure strong enough to launch both Arak and Liquiir away. But despite Liquiir's blade leaving his body, the loop remains attached to Goku's arm. Taking advantage of this, Goku spins Liquiir in the vacuum through his own loop, causing him to hit Rumshi and Belmod, who are coming to attack but are repelled by their ally's body. After using Liquiir to deflect Rumshi and Belmod, Goku pulls Liquiir back to him, and forming a key blade on his arm, he says, "Now you'll taste your own medicine." But before being hit by Goku's key blade, Liquiir dissolves the energy loop to free himself, extends his 9 tails, and shoots a sequence of multiple energy attacks from them as if each of his 9 tails were a key machine gun. Caught off guard by Liquiir's reaction, Goku can only react by cutting with his key blade at the first attacks that come. But when one of the energy spears hits him, all the others follow, creating a chain of explosions that extend throughout the region of the vacuum of space. The key explosions resulting from Liquiir shots are so powerful that the entire universe trembles with those attacks. Watching all this from his palace, Zeno is very impressed with the God of Destruction of Universe 8 and comments to Daishinken that he didn't know Liquiir had so much raw power and such a wild fighting style. Daishinken says that the reason Zeno finds Liquiir's behavior strange is that he always seemed to be a very clever and polite god, also doing a good job of keeping his universe in balance, making it seem like he is a very balanced person. But the truth is that in essence, Liquiir is what they can literally call a monster. Zeno doesn't understand what the Grand Priest means, and then Daishinken tells that initially Liquiir wasn't this person they know. He tells that Liquiir was born as a true demonic beast, an uncontrollable monster that roamed throughout Universe 8, destroying everything in its path. Liquiir had a special characteristic. The longer he lived, the more tails appeared on his body, and with each tail that appeared, his power increased. But his intelligence also grew. Over the centuries, he ceased to be that uncontrollable and irrational beast to become an extremely powerful being, also endowed with great intelligence. After 900 years, he finally achieved the perfection of his power and intellect when he developed his 9th tail. And after that, due to his great power and intelligence, Liquiir became the God of Destruction of Universe 8. Daishinken completes his explanation by saying that Liquiir is one of the most intelligent among the Gods of Destruction, but at the same time, he's also one of the wildest and most brutal. After facing all those explosions head-on, Goku is left with multiple injuries all over his body. But the attacks don't stop there, as Liquiir advances with a punch. Goku counters Liquiir's punch with another punch, but when their hands collide, the impact causes a large amount of blood to splash from Goku's wound, which hurts a lot. This pain is enough to create an opening for a sequence of very fierce attacks from Liquiir, severely bruising Goku's body. Liquiir carries Goku through the vacuum of space while hitting him with thousands of attacks per second, punishing the Saiyan's entire body. With a punch, he throws Goku towards a floating rock in space, and after that he makes a claw attack in the air. His claws materialize in the form of a cutting energy, which Goku narrowly dodges but has his ribs partially torn by the energy. He then sees the floating rock behind him completely shattered. Next, Liquiir approaches from the front, while Rumshi, Belmod, and Arak approach from other directions, surrounding him. Goku's expression is not good, denoting pain and concern. He thinks, "Darn, what do I do? With these injuries, I won't be able to continue fighting these guys." And suddenly the image of Yamoshi, whom he met in the first alternate reality, comes to his mind. After remembering Yamoshi, Goku smiles. In Universe 2, Vegeta is crushed by Mosco's hands, after being caught off guard by him. Vegeta begins to release his power intensely, but Moscow is putting a lot of strength into the grip, preventing Vegeta from breaking free. "You old tin can, let go of me!" the Saiyan Prince shouts, extending his feet towards the robotic god. Vegeta releases a wave of energy right into his face, sending Moscow in one direction while he goes in the other. After doing this, he points his hand at Moscow, planning to attack with a Big Bang attack, but his attack is stopped when Beerus arrives with a kick to the face, sending Vegeta straight to the ground. Next, he finds himself surrounded by Beerus, Moscow, Champa, and Iwan, who have just arrived. "Darn, these guys are a pain," the Saiyan god complains. Closing his eyes to focus on Goku's energy, Vegeta realizes that he is in combat, and then concludes that somehow Goku managed to escape death and no longer needs his help. Concluding this, Vegeta takes his combat stance and says he will focus on destroying these guys once and for all. Beerus goes on the attack, releasing a large amount of power. Vegeta does the same, colliding in midair with the God of Destruction of Universe 7 and sending him flying away, winning the strength contest. Iwan launches an energy wave at him, but Vegeta launches an even bigger one, overpowering Iwan's power and hitting the God of Universe 1, causing a massive explosion in the sky. After that, Champa and Moscow go for the physical attack, but Vegeta intercepts their advance, reaching Champa at high speed and pushing him away with a blow. He then starts an exchange with Moscow, pressuring the God of Universe 3 with very violent attacks. Vegeta emanates his power with great aggression, furious with this fight and determined to destroy his enemies with brute force. "You think you're strong?" he asks. "Then I'll show you what strength is." Vegeta lands a kick that sends Moscow spinning into the air. He would follow the robot to hit him once more, but he needs to defend against Beerus and Champa, who come at him from opposite sides with a kick and a punch respectively. Vegeta stops both with his forearms and then extends his hands to them, simultaneously firing an energy wave from each hand that pushes both away. Moscow returns from above at full speed for an attack, but Vegeta propels himself towards him like a rocket, simply passing through Moscow's body with an upward punch, piercing the God of Destruction of Universe 3. After passing through Moscow, Vegeta turns to the Hakaishin now below him, already assuming the Gallic gun stance, and then fires the energy wave that hits Moscow in the back, carries him to the planet's surface, and then unleashes a gigantic explosion that completely destroys that planet while making the entire universe tremble. At the end of the explosion, all that remains of Moscow are some small pieces of his wreckage, indicating the complete destruction of the robot. "It was about time to get rid of that pile of junk," Vegeta says, smiling with satisfaction at having one less enemy to deal with. But it's not over yet, as Beerus, Champa, and Iwan gather around him again. Releasing his energy intensely, Vegeta tells them to go all out, saying he will crush them all. The story continues in the upcoming full episode. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out. See you soon.